Okay, the bells are kind of messed up. So I will probably just go ahead and dismiss you. We're now starting like 5 minutes late because they didn't get the bells working right. All right, who is absent? Anybody? You don't know? Do you know who sits at your table normally?
I don't know who's supposed to. Dustin's not here.
No,
Dustin is gone.
He's here.
Right, he's here. Jessica, I'm going to have you move to, yeah, a table of 3 people, not the one that's got 4. All right, so nobody's absent? Everybody's here? Okay. I'm not going to return your papers today. I'll save that for tomorrow. We'll get right into what we're going to be talking about today. There's just a couple of things that I needed to go over with you first that I'm not sure that you got it before. You guys writing your homework books? All right, open up your book. What? What's wrong? Did you ever go to the doctor?
Yeah.
What? Okay, take these right here. Go. Bye. They must feel like they have the plague or something. All right, you ready? Okay, open your books to page 588. There are some weather maps. There's actually 4 weather maps on those pages that are in front of you. They are showing a progression of weather over a 4-day period, 3-day period, okay, where the weather is going. Looking at those 4 maps, looking at the one on the page before that, flip 1 page back, okay, and looking on the page after that, flip 2 pages forward. So you're looking at page 587, 88, 89, and 90. Find the high pressure centers. Find the low pressure centers on any one of those 5 or 6 maps. Find the cold fronts and the warm fronts. Okay, now here's a puzzle for you. What do you notice about fronts and pressure centers? What do you notice about the fronts and the high pressure and the fronts and the low pressure? You got to look at the map in order to answer the question. And if you can't figure it out with one map, move to another map. Make some comparisons. What pattern do you notice about fronts and pressure centers? No. I'm waiting.
I have a question.
Oh, question? Okay.
Aren't the pointed ones the warm fronts?
The pointed ones are the cold fronts.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I thought you were going to answer the question. I'm waiting for some people to get that look on their face like, oh. Scott, are you noticing anything? Is there something you're noticing about the high pressure centers that is not the same as the low pressure centers?
Besides the points, no.
Besides the what?
The points, the triangles.
What about the points?
That there's like more triangles in these than there are.
There's no triangles where?
No, there's more triangles
Oh.
in these than there are in the past couple of
Oh, okay, so there's more cold fronts than warm fronts?
Yeah.
Okay, but what about the low pressure centers? And what about the high pressure centers? Mike, what do you think?
I think that there's low pressure centers on the cold fronts and the wind fronts too. Like on
And
the front, there's like a
what about the high pressure centers?
They're moving away from the front.
They don't seem to have fronts attached to them, do they?
No.
You notice that, John? Look at all the low pressure centers. Do you see fronts attached to them? No. Can you tell me why? You remember the balloon thing? Can you tell me why? John, what do you think?
When it hits the hot air, it would like go above it, like,
So you've got a warm air mass and a cold air mass.
and when it hits, I remember it, but it's hard to explain.
Okay. You're saying the warm air rises above that cold air.
Yes.
Okay.
And that it,
And warm air has what kind of pressure?
low pressure.
Okay. Matt, did you have something to add?
I was going to say that when I had hot air balloon.
Okay. Let me show you a real easy way to really kind of understand it. I have 3 balloons this time, and they're different colored. Red is warm air, blue is cold, and yellow is cooler. Let's say cooler. All right, let's look up here for a second. And you'll even notice on this mat, there aren't any fronts attached to those low pressure centers, right? Or to the high pressure centers, just to the low pressure centers, right? Okay, so where would the red balloon go? If this is the, what kind of front?
Cold.
Then where's the warm air going to be?
Away from it.
Behind it? This is the front of a warm air mass?
It's going to be in front of it.
It's going to be in front of it? Okay, where's the cold air going to be? Behind it. And we'll put the yellow air up here, okay? This is where the low pressure center happens. Watch what happens. Here's the warm air. Here's the cold air. Here's the cool air. You see the hole in between the 3?
Yeah.
There's your low pressure center. It's where those big bubbles of air have a depression or an area, a gap, that space. That's the low, see? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at that bubble of warm air, the bubble of cold air behind. Here's the front, right here, right? The front of the air mass. Yes? And then where they all meet up, where these bubbles of air meet up, that's where that low pressure center comes in. The high pressure is going to be this big bubble of cold air at the very highest point of it, as far as pressure goes. It's not going to ever have a front because it occurs in like the middle of the air mass. Okay? Get it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes?
So would that basically be because the low pressure and the spot?
Yes. That depression of low pressure air, right. What you've got is air funneling in and air funneling up at the same time. And then once it starts to twist, when we see that video on understanding weather, it's really cool because it shows the air funneling like this on the ground. What's that called?
Convection.
Right. It shows that on the ground like a big tube doing that. And then when that, I think it showed cold air hits it, remember when I said the cold air hits that blue and the blue goes flying off? Or the cold air hits the red and the warm air goes flying off? That's what causes the storm. What it shows is that that tube gets split and splits up this way, and that's the beginning of the funnel cloud. It's very cool, but you'll see that on the video. Okay, so does that help with low pressure and high pressure? And okay, kind of a visual? Okay, the reason you need to know that is because this is what you're going to be doing. First hour did not even finish the cities on their map, which was kind of disappointing. I thought they'd get further than that. You do not need, and I won't let you use your book or your notes. I was going to let you, and then I thought, no, I think that you need to get that station model plugged into your head a little better than you have it. Okay? So you don't need any of that. You may use the map on page 770, I think. Check page 770 in your book. There should be, yep, a map of the United States. You also have a map like this at your table with all of the cities on it. Oh, they don't have one down there. Heather, would you take that map down to the office and ask them to give it to the kids inside the conference room? Okay, I think they brought the map back from there. And then tell them to leave it there. Leave the pencils and the map. Okay? All right, so you've got enough reference for finding certain cities. You're going to get a list of 12 cities in the United States. Oh, that stays on. This goes off. A list of 12 cities in the United States with some weather data. I told you this last week. And you're going to get a blank map that... Handing out? Okay. Handing out? Yeah. Danielle. I'm going to let Danielle do it because she threw her hand out there first. I didn't think she wanted to get up, but she does. Okay. You're going to get a sheet like this. It has all of the instructions that you need on it. What you are going to do is, on the map in front of you, and put all your notes away right now. Any notes, any... You can only have your book open to page 770. Okay, on the blue sheet is a list of the 12 cities around the country. You might want to make note that Hatteras, fourth from the bottom, is actually called Cape Hatteras. Most of you have probably never heard of it. You will, though, by the time we get done with oceans. It is in North Carolina. North Carolina. I'm not going to show you where that is. You ought to know where North Carolina is. And Kansas City, there are two big Kansas cities. We're talking about, thank you, Kansas City, Missouri. Okay? So you might want to write M-O after Kansas City, just so you remember where it's from. All right, who wants to read the directions? I'm going to stop you a lot as you go through and explain certain things. Matt, go ahead.
Locate and label each of the above cities on the attachment.
Okay, the first thing you're going to do is find the cities one at a time. Detroit. Okay? When you find it on the map, you're going to put the little dot where Detroit goes. Then you're going to write Detroit, but you've got to write small and you've got to write neat so that I can read it. Scott, you haven't started yet, have you? No. Don't, because I've got to tell you the whole thing. Remember where Detroit goes on a weather station model, right? Many of you forgot to put Weather City when you had to redo another station model on that worksheet. Lots of people did not put that city name. They put all the other stuff but didn't put the city. So when you write Detroit, to the left of it, make your circle right away and start building that station model. Otherwise, if you go through and write all the cities first, then you're going to have to go back and make sure you've got room to put the station model. So do one city at a time, okay? Do you know what I'm saying? You get it? Yes? Like this. I'll just start this first one just so you know. If you have got this part of Michigan right here, and you put the dot, you need to write Detroit over here, okay? And then start your station model right here. All right? A reminder that the wind direction is that arrow to the middle. All right? And I'm trying to think what else they had trouble with. They had a little trouble last hour with cloud coverage in the circle. If you're not sure, ask someone at your table first before I come around to help you with that. Make sure you get it before, or somebody else, you've asked somebody else before you ask me, okay? Because you had the 25%, you had the 50%, and you had the 75%, then you had full coverage. Remember what those meant, because that's how they are on this sheet, okay? Okay, so there's your, any questions on the station model? You know where everything goes on there. There are only 2 cities with current conditions, and I'll put the symbols on the board. They're very simple. Okay? So you don't need that chart either. Okay, next one. Matt, keep going.
Placing them at approximate locations.
Appropriate locations? Yep. All right, now, that's as far as everybody got for second hour, okay? Go ahead and read on, Matt.
Place high and low pressure centers where you think they would be located on the map.
You're going to have to look at what in order to do that? What's some indicators of high and low pressure? Oh, no, you know what we thought of last hour? Don't do this one. Put an arrow, 4, 5, and 5 to 4. Do step 5 first. It'll make 4 a lot easier. Or 3 and 4, I'm sorry, wait. Do step 4 first, and then go back up and do step 3. Read step 4, Matt, so I can explain what I mean there.
Shade regions of precipitation.
Keep-
Place symbols for cold and warm fronts where they would most likely be located on the map.
Okay, do you see why I said to do this one first? When you find the areas of precipitation, and then you find the cold and warm fronts, it should be a lot easier to put the low pressure and high pressure centers, right? Okay, so do number 4 first, and then go back and do number 3. When you shade for precipitation, if it's light rain, it's a light green. If it's medium rain, they just say rain, then it's a yellow. And if it's a thunderstorm, then it's red. That's how the Doppler radar satellite picture picks it up. Okay? It's the density of the air is what they pick up. All right? Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Answer the following questions. Interpret the data using your math weather. Explain the locations of high and low pressure centers in warm and cool fronts. Are there any environmental or severe weather concerns that may occur due to the weather indications on the map? Use your weather map to explain the above answer.
Okay, this will be on a separate sheet of paper. Probably won't get it to about the middle of class tomorrow, where now you have to explain why you put everything on your map where you put it. Okay? So you're kind of explaining yourself. Low pressure, high pressure, and hopefully you'll be able to do that. I think you can, if you allow yourself to think in that direction. Okay, and then 6.
Using the data on the weather, forecast the weather for October 24, 2002 for each of the cities.
Okay? Are there any questions about what I expect you to do? No? So I will be able to just sit here the whole time you're doing this and just watch you, like last hour. Tim?
I don't get shaded regions of precipitation.
Okay, on the map that you had to do for the weather station models, they told you to shade the areas of precipitation the same way that this map did. You see how they shaded these areas? Where it's raining, and once you get done with all your station models, you'll be able to see it better. You'll look for the cloudy areas, and then from that, you'll look for the rainy areas.
No, I know. I thought you meant to do 4 completely first.
No, no. Well, yeah, you're going to do 4 first before you do 3.
I know that.
Oh, no, not before 2, though. Right. Okay, gotcha. John?
You work as a group. Or
You work as a group, yes, which means talking quietly about the mapping activity, not about what you did over the weekend. Okay? Yes, Will?
I'm really unsure about these models. We have to do them.
Okay.
I don't quite understand.
Did you do that worksheet last week?
Which one?
The one that you were supposed to turn in for a grade on Friday?
I'm not sure.
You had Weather City, and then around the circle, which had cloudiness in it. All right, I'm not sure you turned it in. Okay. We'll see what your group can help you with. John?
I was trying to find a booth right next to Garrett. So
Sure. Matt?
When we're like doing this, right, you said, do you want us to write, like go through and write all the cities and then go and do the weather stations, or do the city and then the weather station?
Somebody want to answer Matt's question?
Do the city and the weather station.
Okay.
Don't do all the cities first and then go back and do the stations, because you might write the name of the city in the wrong place and you won't be able to fit the weather station around it. Heather?
Okay, what do we do for the current conditions.
Okay, there are only two. Thanks for that. There are only two. Let me pull this up. They call it on those, and that's actual data information from last Wednesday, the 23rd, straight off the Weather Channel. When you're all done, I'm going to give you the actual satellite map with the warm fronts and cold fronts and high and low pressures. You're going to compare that to what you came up with on your map. I'm looking at probably Wednesday by the time we get to that. Then you're going to forecast at the bottom. Your last step is going to be a forecast. Then you're going to look at what happened the next day and see how well your forecast came out. Okay? But on the Weather Channel, instead of calling it intermittent rain, they call it light rain. So this is the symbol for light rain. I know it's tough. I don't know if you're going to be able to remember it, but that's light rain. Okay? There are no thunderstorms, none of that, all the fancy stuff they had on that chart. And guess what this is?
Snow.
Light snow. If it were heavy snow, there'd be two of them. Oops. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, Will?
So if it was heavy rain, there would be two.
Two dots. Yep. Yep. Yeah, if you need a pencil, let me know. Don't try to do this in pen. It's too much erasing going on. Yes, Mike, question?
When we shade these, what colors do you want us to have them?
I have a box of pencils right up, colored pencils, I did, right up here. Whatever color you want except red or blue. Oops, you needed this. Whatever color you want except red or blue. Okay? All right, if there are no more questions, get started. I'm going to put this away so I don't trip on it. Yes?
I need a pencil.
Okay, go back over there and get one from where I got it, that little top drawer. Matt, did you have a question? Why? On the wall? You want me to move you up here? Oh, I thought so. Christina? Yes, you may sharpen your pencil.
Can I sharpen my pencil too?
Yeah. You guys are supposed to do this beforehand. Okay. Let's see if I can talk you through this. You wrote the city of Detroit. And then there was a circle next to it. So just draw a circle, relatively large circle. Okay. Well, no, don't fill it in, just a circle. And I just said use a pencil. Is that a pencil?
Yes.
Oh, that's a cool pencil. Okay, an open circle. Now, in the circle you have 4 choices. These are your choices. Mostly sunny. No, clear. Mostly sunny. Partly cloudy. Mostly cloudy. Cloudy. That's it. 5 of them. Okay? And it's saying cloudy. And they are represented by how much you shade that circle. Actually, cloudy is going to be all shaded. Okay? And let me see your pencil for a minute. We'll draw them on the back so you can... All right. This one is totally unshaded, so that's going to be what?
Sunny.
Clear. Yeah, sunny or clear. This one is going to be a quarter shaded. This one is going to be... Let's do them all first, then we can compare. This one is going to be this way, and that one is going to be completely, and you know this one's cloudy, and you know this one's clear. Okay? So now your other options are mostly cloudy, mostly sunny, or partly cloudy.
It would be sunny, that would be partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Right now.
Okay, if that's all right, relax. If that's clear, then this is like mostly clear or mostly clear or mostly. If this one's sunny, okay, this one's mostly sunny. Now you've got mostly cloudy and partly cloudy.
Oh, okay.
And these two left. Which one's mostly cloudy and which one's partly cloudy? What's that one? What's that one? Okay, so you've got sunny or clear. Beautiful. Detroit was easy, but you're going to get to some other ones that, okay? All right, now, the next thing that you have to figure out is where the temperature goes and where the dew point goes. You guys, you have humidity information. Does it go on the weather station model anywhere? No. We didn't put humidity on there, did we?
So we don't need
Well, just, you don't need it right now. You'll need it to answer some questions, but you don't need it on the weather station model. Matt?
For Detroit, how is 8 miles an hour? You want us to round
8-mile-an-hour wind. I told you last week, your choice. It's either a 5. You listening, Garrett? 8-mile-an-hour wind is either a 5 or a 10. Your choice. If you show me 3 long lines there, I'm going to know you didn't know what you were doing. Okay? All right. Do you remember where temperature went? Yep, right above it to the left. Okay, and then dew point went below left. Okay, you've got the city there. Do you remember what goes above the city on this thing?
Los Angeles.
The pressure.
Yep.
And then pressure is on the right.
When you do the pressure, make sure you show falling, steady, or rising, either with the letters or the arrows. Rising would be just shooting straight across a horizontal line. Okay, so now if you're not doing humidity, the only thing you have left is wind speed and direction. Do you remember how that was represented? Okay. An arrow that's shooting into the circle. And it's a northeast wind, so that's northwest. Yep. If you have trouble remembering your directions, make a little compass rose at the top of your map. Ah. No, you don't need to worry. All of these weather or all of the wind directions are in either northeast or south or south. I didn't put east, northeast, or no, I didn't do any of that.
Can I see the map when you go?
You can tell her, Jessica. Oh, you guys, I told you where it was.
I remember. I found this. If you remember, then you can tell me. I remember her telling us, I just don't remember where.
You remember me talking about it?
Yes. On your map in your book it says Cape Hatteras, right? It's not on your plastic map. Does that help? I don't think it is. It might be. Nope, it's not on your plastic map.
It's out in the ocean.
Well, now the name is out in the ocean. The little dot is actually on land.
There's no dot. It's just out in the middle of the ocean.
You're right. There is no dot. I'm looking in the wrong place anyways. I'm looking
New
in...
York and New York. It's not on this map. It must be on there.
New York is on there. It's just very hard to find.
On this one?
Here's the state.
Right.
Here's
Oh,
the
there
city
it
right
is.
there, yeah.
I'm stupid.
You're not stupid. It's just buried on an island.
You know, partly would be like this 50. Partly is 50. Partly is 50. Partly is 50, Mike.
Mostly is 75 and very cloudy.
You haven't finished the Detroit weather station model yet. Shouldn't you finish that before you start one?
So it's coming out of the...
I mean, that's what I would do. I guess you can do it any way you want, but I guess everybody else is doing it that way too. Remember to keep your handwriting very small and really nice and neat. Those of you that struggle with neat, really nice and neat.
They're good. There's a river.
Yes.
Miss A.
Hmm.
There's a river. There's no little dot for it.
How about on the plastic map? That's why I gave you that plastic map too, because some of these cities are not as major. Well, Des Moines is a major city, but some aren't.
No, it's right in the middle.
And they're just on weather maps because they have a weather station there.
It's a label like temperature, pressure.
What did you have to do on the weather station model?
I don't know. That's fine.
Oh, you mean tell me what it is? No, I know what it is.
Right.
Yeah, no, you just write it down.
Good job. Circle. You got put it New York right there. Put it on there. Okay. And we'll keep this one right there. Can we just put like in C? I mean in Y or like New York?
Yeah, make sure you don't get too much clutter around it so that you can't tell that that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay? So make it clear enough that I'll be able to see it. Because NY could easily get lost in there. Okay?
What would we put for steady?
S. Or an arrow. Here's your circle. An arrow just shooting off.
Okay. I'll go sharpen it. No, it's supposed to be black.
You guys seem to be having a lot less trouble than second hour did. Or maybe I just explained it better this time. I don't know.
It's hard for me to write this small.
I know. I told you it would be a challenge for some of you. Yes, you have very large handwriting.
I got very horrible handwriting. I'm not even writing that.
Oh no, that looks good though. That's pretty good for you. Yeah. Because I know you would want to fill the map up with like Los Angeles would cover from LA all the way to Florida.
I probably would.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kansas City is Kansas City, Missouri. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, Missouri.
Okay, that's why I said it in there, not the
Which one?
Kansas City. I didn't know if it's right there, isn't it?
Yep, it's right on the edge. And then there's another one in Kansas too, but it's not as big of a city. This is a big city here.
Can't even see it.
I know, they don't have it on that map. Do they have it on the plastic one?
Yeah.
Missouri, yep, and Missouri, yep, and Kansas.
What is it? North, south, what is it?
East and west.
East go right there.
I can't give you medicine.
Heather, think of it this
She would have to bring either a written, she'd have to bring a note. We need something written that says that we can, do you want to go call home? Well, if you don't want to go home, can you call home and somebody can bring you the medicine? Aspirin, painkiller, Tylenol. It won't let you hear, but it'll hurt. It'll kill the pain if you're in pain. Well, then you need to take like Tylenol or something. Do you want to call home? Okay. Do you want to call from here, or do you want to go to the office? Is it like right around here?
It's not loaded.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and call home. See if somebody can bring you something. We're not allowed to administer any medication. Not even cough drops. 9. Mm-hmm.
Same as New York. Yeah.
Des Moines. The S is silent.
It is in Iowa.
In your book or the plastic map?
Plastic map.
Plastic map only. How far did you get?
I don't know where humidity goes.
Where what?
Humidity.
Humidity. Were you listening when I gave directions? You weren't listening? It's showing right now. What did I say about humidity? Did you have to put humidity on it last week? Think for a minute. Did you remember putting any on that worksheet we did?
Yeah,
Humidity?
yeah. It goes right below temperature.
Does it go below air pressure?
Dew point goes below temperature. Humidity is not on your station model at all. Remember I said that?
I got dew point on it.
Ah, it's not on there at all.
It's pressure. What?
Humidity is not on there at all. There's no humidity on that station model. Because when you look at dew point, you should be able to tell what the humidity is like, right? For instance, look at, is it New Orleans or Kansas City? Who's got 100% humidity? Denver? Okay, there's Denver. Okay, what's temperature in Denver? What's dew point? So what does that tell you about the humidity?
It's gonna rain.
What's the humidity?
100.
100%.
It's gonna rain or snow.
And it is doing that, right? Right.
Or it's gonna.
I will eliminate the ability to talk to your neighbors for the worksheet if we're going to talk about other things. Message for you. I know somebody called me last week and left a message. I never answered it. Okay? You get it now, Scott? No humidity because you can tell the humidity by the dew point. How are you doing? Now these all have to go a certain way.
Right.
This one I can't tell. Oh, okay, there it is. Your direction from wind.
Where are the cloudies again? I forgot.
Please?
Yes. Oh, this is clear.
Okay.
And then I said.
What one is this one?
I said cloudy.
Okay, but you've got some sun there. Is it completely cloudy?
No, it's just cloudy. Mostly cloudy is completely cloudy, right? The same thing.
Mostly cloudy means there must be a little bit of sun.
Alright.
So what have you got there? A little bit of sun, right? You want it all the way cloudy, so what are you going to do?
Fill it in.
Right.
Alright, so a whole circle, that's cloudy.
Uh-huh.
And then half is partly cloudy, right?
Yes.
And then cloudy, partly cloudy. And mostly cloudy is 75%.
Yep. That's all right. You know what it is. You're the only one that has to look at it. So then what is going to be mostly sunny?
A quarter.
That's clear. That's completely sunny.
Completely sunny.
If you've got partly cloudy here, what's mostly sunny going to look like? Mostly clear, except a little bit of clouds. Right, right.
Miami.
Yep,
Miami's right there.
yep, there you go. You got it. You sigh like you're in pain, Kim. Is this hurting? Come on, you're not going to make me stand here the whole time, are you?
No.
Okay, then stay on task, okay?
Where's Kansas City?
I'm trying to calm her down.
Got energy because you won't let me talk all day.
Okay, a variable, good question, Jessica. That was the other one I hadn't answered. Listen, please. One of those has a variable direction, which means you're not going to have an arrow shooting into that circle because they're all over the place. If you don't have the arrow shooting into the circle, then you can't put the, what, 5 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Okay. So put the line on there anywhere, because if it's variable, it's changing a whole lot. So just put it anywhere and then put the 5 mile an hour line on there. There's another one, though, that says variable speed. So put the arrow for the wind direction and then put a V at the end of it. Okay? Because you can't say it's probably anywhere from 3 to 15 miles an hour. Okay? Get it? Okay. Does that help? Okay.
Okay, with that line stuff, with the calm one, yeah, the 1 speed, with the lines, with the 5 and the 10, how are we supposed to know which is
9 is closer to what? 9 or I mean 10 or 5?
would be 10?
Okay, so use the 10.
Okay.
Okay? And even when you get to the 12, that's halfway between the 10 and the 15, you pick.
Okay.
Okay, you can either put 1 10-mile-an-hour or the 10-mile and 5 mile.
What about the calm? What do we do? Just
Calm, you don't put any line at
Okay.
all. There's no line because there's no direction, there's no nothing. Okay?
if you have like 3, do you put like different? Or?
You shouldn't have 2 on there. It's one or the other. What is that, New York?
Yes, New York.
9-mile-an-hour wind out of the northeast. Which direction is the northeast?
Up here.
Yep, so erase that one you've got on the bottom. And then don't forget to put your 10-mile-an-hour line on there. Okay. All right, how many of you guys got done here? We only have like 15 minutes. How many of you got done? On your what? Heather? Oh, you found all your cities first? You're halfway done?
If mostly cloudy is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And partly cloudy is half.
Mm-hmm.
And then mostly is just like 75%. What would the 25% be?
What do you think?
Quarter.
What is it mostly of if only a quarter of it is dark?
Mostly clear.
Mostly clear or mostly sunny?
Goes like that.
You don't have any on there. Unfortunately, it was a cloudy day all the way around the country.
Like light green is light rain.
Yeah, yeah. If you use when you use the colored pencils, if they're dull, just use the hand sharpeners, please. Don't use the power sharpeners because they chew it up, eat them away.
That's just.
Yeah. Yeah, they drew their hand today in art. They didn't. You had to do your hand. Remember you had to do your hand? They haven't got there yet. Don't push too hard.
Oh man, it hurts.
What are you in now?
I'm in reading.
Oh, Miss O'Shea. No, you can't come back to art. Sorry.
It's creepy.
What's creepy? What?
Her cousin has a crush on her.
No, she used to.
Whose cousin?
My cousin.
Your cousin has had a crush on you?
Yeah, that's why she creeps me out.
Oh. Not Lindsay, your cousin.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm afraid of her. She really scares me.
I like my cousin. I like my cousin's friends.
Really scares me.
My cousin scares me. I don't like him. I like my cousin's friends.
I don't know.
Make sure you're putting those in the right place. Okay.
Right here.
Because it looks like Los Angeles is on top of your circle. Your circle needs to be the left of that city name. Yes, and that's the one where I told you to just put the arrow anywhere.
How do you do there?
They were?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Direction.
And
And then, yeah.
It's the speed. Variable speed.
That's what she said. And then you put a B on it. Okay, cool. That's for the families, right?
They did drive. I wouldn't have gotten on an airplane.
They had to drive. They can get like.
Oh, yeah.
Spend $200.
I'm sorry, John.
Were they even flying planes at that point?
Yeah.
When they were coming back, they
We
were?
were all just.
We weren't having any planes in the air at that point.
So
Wow.
they had to drive back and
It'd be a nice drive unless you're in a hurry.
They try.
We finally got a new job.
They put,
What's today? The
I mean, they didn't have that thing. I mean, they weren't back. They were initially going to sign for 1 week. They weren't back.
Oh, yeah.
If they didn't have the
Jump.
car. There
Yeah.
were so many
It's
people
right there.
diving to get the car.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Supply and demand.
They just
I do variable direction. What do you put for variable?
Variable direction, I think I answered that a few minutes
I thought
ago.
you answered variable speed.
What did I say about variable direction, Will?
Pardon?
What did I say when the direction is
So, I
variable?
mean, you can just point the arrow whatever way you want to do it.
Just put a line on there somewhere to attach your 5 miles per hour. There you go. There you go. No, no, not on the station model. The whole thing can be the same color. When you shade, if you want to use color, you can use color. Okay. It's just like shading when you did the station model worksheet. How are you doing over here?
Good.
You get it?
Yeah.
Good. How many got done, Mike?
Thing's too big.
How many station models? 8? Okay. Yes, who's calling me? What?
Since Cape Hatteras is out in the ocean, where am I supposed to
It isn't in the ocean.
There's no dot.
It is right, it's a cape, so I'm assuming it's like right here. We'll just make it right there. There's the city. Now go with it. It's not in the ocean.
Well, that's how they showed it in the map.
Actually, I should show you the picture of the lighthouse that's there. I'll pull that stuff out for tomorrow, because it's kind of interesting.
Where's Cape Hatteras?
It's out in the ocean.
I know. It's in the ocean.
Little dot, it's right there.
It's not in your book map. Oh, yes, it is in your book map. It's not on the plastic map. It's right here. It's north.
I know, but it's
You know? Why are you asking
well,
me?
it's like, where do I put it? I
Okay.
know, because I had to go there.
It should be like right here somewhere. We'll just
They make Hatteras.
anywhere that it looks like it might, right in that little cove area there. There. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. There's a lighthouse on Cape Hatteras, so it can't be back in that cove area, right? It's got to be the most sticking out point of North Carolina. How's that? Okay. But they had to move the lighthouse because the most sticking out point of North Carolina got washed away. And they thought that
Original
the...
Cape Hatteras is in the ocean.
So wait a minute, the continent got washed out?
Okay, Danielle, you got me there.
Confused.
I can't. No, they actually rolled it back. It's very interesting. I'll find the stuff. You keep working. I'll find the picture.
That confuses me.
You just keep working. Just it's that little part sticking out right there. Yes. You got everything filled in. You're going to have to wait for your group mates to figure out their stuff so that
So
you can
Rhode
move on
Island
to
is
it.
floating out to
But
sea.
No. Rhode Island.
look at where your cloudiness is. Look at where your precipitation is, and you can go ahead and shade that. And then they're all going to want to look at yours when they get done so they can copy it.
Rhode Island is not an island.
Rhode Island is not an island. Nope. They probably thought it was when they named it. I'm really thinking we need an American geography class, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Stop. Rhode Island. Let's go to maybe from Massachusetts.
Isn't that the
It's like
tiniest
behind
state?
these arms. It's the muscle arm. So I'm good at it.
15 make a big one. And then one is back.
Stop it.
Is there a problem? Do I need to be babysitting?
Yeah, you could babysit them.
No, I don't think that's in my job description. Not when the kid being babysitted is 14 years old. Oh, there it is.
Just so you know, the higher the humidity where high pressure is, or low pressure.
Good question. Where would the most humidity be? Think about, think about a weather map. Where's the precipitation around the fronts? Precipitation's behind the front or in front of the front? In front of the front. Okay. So if you're looking at precipitation, you're looking at humidity too. So what is higher humidity going to tell you? It's going to tell you there's precipitation, so where would it be located in relationship to the front? What will be by the precipitation? The front. What front? Very good.
Where's Des Moines?
It's not Des Moines. It's Des Moines.
Where is it?
It's in Iowa. Were you? You know what? I'm not sure. Jessica, go ask Mrs. O'Shea if she is going to let everybody out for lunch by the bell or at 9 minutes after. Okay? Okay, so far Jessica's the only one that got all of the cities plotted.
I'm almost.
Two more? You might finish if you don't talk.
I've been talking all day. I get a lot of energy when
Sit on your butt.
I don't like this because I get a lot of energy when I don't talk.
You what?
I don't like this because I get a lot of energy when I don't talk.
Tomorrow's going to be even worse because you won't be allowed to talk in here either.
I'll be running around the whole lunch hour.
Matt, sit. Thank you. Work. You got all the cities done? Okay, I told Jessica to go ahead and, ooh, Crystal, you went ahead of your group. You're supposed to be making those decisions with your group together. Okay? When you get to the point when you are ready to do precipitation and the fronts, decide as a group so that you can explain why you think the front needs to go somewhere, and then someone else can either debate with you or agree with you. And don't agree with the person just because they get better grades in science. Because a lot of times when it comes to this kind of stuff, they won't get it. It happens an awful lot. They know the bookwork, they understand some of the concepts, but when it comes to actually applying them, sometimes those people that really get good grades have a real hard time with this kind of stuff. Mike?
Is this homework?
No, it is not homework.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 1 more minute to work, and then I'm going to explain the rest to you. What did she say? 9 after? I figured she was going to be going to lunch.
So can we get out of the bell?
No, you'll get out before the bell. If you want to get out at the bell, it probably won't ring until quarter after or so. The bells are behind. Because it would actually be ringing during the middle of, if we were following that clock, during the middle of 4th hour. It's that middle bell.
I don't like the bell for 4th hour. That's why I'm always late.
You won't be today,
I know.
because there'll be teachers in the hallway making sure you make it. Because you won't be talking to each other in the hallway. It's actually working out quite nicely.
I feel like I'm in a state prison. I mean, the
That's
only-
how we want it to
I thought
feel.
The only difference is that the teachers aren't carrying 12 gauges.
No, we won't do that, but we are definitely, it is definitely a crackdown situation.
Yes, I do, and it's not fair.
Work.
I keep hitting my hand
Work.
on people.
Hmm?
How'd that start anyways?
Last Friday's behavior? No. Who's done? Oh, there's that lunch bell. Stop. Freeze. You are responsible to bring the map and the instructions back to this room.
Can you send Danielle Harris to the office?
She's on her way. Tomorrow. If you don't have it, am I going to give you another one? No. No. Are you going to get a grade? No. No. Just so long as we understand that. Have a nice lunch. Make sure everything else is on the middle of the table. Don't. Thank you, John. Yes, I want my pencil back. Put that on and leave it on. It's not working, Veronica. Oh, thank you, John. I'll see you tomorrow, too. Have a good afternoon.